Good morning, boys and girls, and a new week has started again, and I even have a new background for you today, nice and green. I hope you got a chance to pick up your new pack of work today. If you didn't, it's still there available in school, so just pop along when you get a chance and pick it up, okay? And I'm going to talk through it for you today. We'll look at Monday's work, and we'll look at the other bits and pieces that are in the pack as well, all right? So, it's Monday, the 8th of February 2021. Let's get started. And we begin, as always, by writing our date. All right. So today's date is Monday, the 8th of February 2021. Monday, the 8th of February 2021. Write it out on lined paper if you have it, or if you don't, that's fine. Any paper will do. All right. So in your packs, boys and girls, you will find work for week 5, week 6. You'll find some Grow and Love. Now yours is photocopied. I'm just working from the book here. You'll find World Around Us, which we'll discuss later in the week. And you'll find a little mindful colouring page as well. I don't have it here, but it is in your pack. Now I was hoping to pop in this morning, boys and girls, and put a few extra pieces of colouring and little bits and pieces into your packs. Unfortunately, I've been called away to a meeting this morning, so I won't be able to come in. But the packs are still there for you, so if you haven't got them yet, make sure you pick them up. All right? So, once you've done week 5 is the work for this week. So from the 8th of February till the 12th. Then, before you start week 6, you have a week off. So when you finish week 5, you don't need to go straight into week 6 the following week, because you have a week off for midterm. It's your midterm break. Hooray! So then once midterm is over, on the 22nd of February, then you can start your week 6 pack. The 22nd of February is a Monday. So then you can start into this, all right? So you do get a week's holiday between this and this, which is nice. So let's look at week 5 today. And we'll begin with our spellings. And this week, we are looking at the J sound. And it is made in a variety of ways. So you'll see up here, it says the J sound could be made using J, G, GE, and sometimes even DGE. All right? So, let's read through the words. And as it's only Monday, I will read them first and then you repeat them after me. Okay? So we have jar, jelly, jeep. Jeep is a type of car or van, isn't it? Jail. Well, we don't want to go to jail, do we? Gym. That's where we go to work out. Germ. We know all about germs these days, boys and girls, don't we? We're always using our hand sanitizer to keep them away. Giant. Age, page, large, ledge. A ledge is another word for a little windowsill. And bridge. You see those DGE words at the end there, all right? And of course, as always, we practice writing those words out into our Monday column. Then we move on to our Sounds in Focus page, which is linked to our spellings. Now, you would have had this page in your last pack. It was connected to that page, the page we were working on with the H sound, but I had asked you not to do it. So I've just copied it again, just in case you've mislaid it. And so you've only one page of work this week for Sounds in Focus, okay? So section 1 right down to section 4, and there's no second page, all right? You'll be delighted to hear. Okay, so there's all our words up at the top. So question 1 asks you to underline the letter or letters that are making the J sound in each of the words. So you'll go through each word and you'll either underline just a J or a G or a GE or a DGE in each word. Okay, so for example, for jar there, you just underline J, wouldn't you? Now just be careful with the word germ. You might think that you have to underline the GE there, but the E there is doing a different job. It's helping to make the sound. So you would just underline the G in germ. It's making the J sound on its own. Whereas with page there, the G and the E are working together to make the J sound. So we don't say page, we say page. So the J sound is the last sound. So for page, you would underline G-E, but for germ, we just underline G, because the E there, as I said, is doing a different job. Now, the other part of question 1 asks you there that if the J sound is made in a different way from all of these ways, if there's a word that's making it in a different way, to write it in the sound box here. But there is no other way of making the J sound this week for us, okay? So it's just made using these 4 ways that we can see at the top, okay? So you can keep this little box empty. Question 2 then asks you to write the list words that have 3 sounds in these jelly beans. That's what these are, jelly beans. So I'm going to go through each word as I normally do, showing you the sounds, and then you pick the words that have 3 sounds. So I'll call out each word, breaking it into sounds, and you count the sound for each word, okay? So you could maybe do a little tick on your spelling list at the words that have 3 sounds, and then you can copy them out onto the jelly beans, all right? So let's listen carefully, trying to find words with 3 sounds. Jar, J-R. Jelly, J-E-L-E. Jeep, J-E-P. Jail, J-A-O. That's J-A-O. Gym, J-E-M. Germ, J-E-R-M. Giant, J-I-A-N-T. Age, A-J. Page, P-A-J. Large, O-R-J. Ledge, O-E-J. That one's not on our spelling list though, on our sounds in focus page, so don't worry about that one. Bridge, B-R-I-J. And it's not on our spelling list and our sounds in focus, but we still need to learn them, okay? But neither of these will go into the jelly beans, all right? It can only be words from this list, okay? And 6 of them have 3 sounds. Now, if you can't remember what they are, you can go back through this video again and listen to me sound out each word to find the words with 3 sounds. Tomorrow then we'll move on and look at section 3 of our sounds in focus. Okay? I think that would be enough sounds in focus for one day. So boys and girls, let's look at our pack for this week for literacy. And there are a variety of things you'll be looking at over the next few weeks, okay? So we're going to start off by looking at some grammar work, some exclamations and full stops. Once a week, as you know, we always do a comprehension. So this week on Tuesday, it's called My Dad the Superhero. And questions as well. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be looking at letter writing. And we're going to practice writing a little short letter from Goldilocks to the 3 bears. I'm sure she would have a lot to say to those bears, wouldn't she? She might need to make a little apology for all the damage that she did and all the food that she ate. Thursday then, and we're returning to grammar and we're looking at different ways of making to. And remember we learnt last week about words that sound the same but are spelt differently and have different meanings. Well, to, and to are examples of those types of words, and they are called homophones. Remember that from last week? So, on Thursday then we'll look at the different meanings for to, and to. And then on Friday we have our longer piece of writing where you use the picture to stimulate your ideas and then you write about the scene that you can see. And I've had some fantastic work from last week's longer piece of writing Really, really excellent writing. So well done to all of you for trying your best with this. But let's stick with Monday for now. And we are looking at exclamation marks or full stops. Now, full stops, as we know, look like this. They're just a dot at the end of your writing. And as you go up through P1, P2, P3 and P4 and right up the school, your teachers keep reminding you to put a full stop at the end of your sentence. Because if there's no full stop there, we don't know that the sentence has ended. Okay? Now, sometimes we can use something else instead of a full stop. So we steal the dot from the full stop, but we add a little bit at the top. Woo, boink. It's called an exclamation mark. And sometimes it is used instead of a full stop to do a special job. Now, can you think of when you would use an exclamation mark? And you can pause the video if you want and discuss with someone beside you. Now, an exclamation mark is usually used to do two jobs. It's either used to show that a person is shouting, or it can be used to show that when someone really wants to stress something. So maybe they're surprised or they're shocked, and you want to show that in your writing by using an exclamation mark instead of a full stop. So I've written a few sentences here, and I want you to tell me if they need a full stop or just or an exclamation mark. So a full stop is just for a general normal sentence. An exclamation mark then is brought in if you want to show someone's surprise or shock or anger, or you want to show that they are shouting. Okay, so the first sentence is, get out now. What do you think it needs? I would say it needs an exclamation mark. Woo, boink. And there it is. So maybe if there was a fire in a house or something like that, people might shout, get out now. So to suggest danger. You probably, if there was a fire in a house, you probably wouldn't just say, oh, get out now. You would say, get out now. So it needs an exclamation mark. What about this one? It's a nice day. I think it just needs a full stop. What do you think? Okay. Unless you were shouting it across the park to your friend, then maybe you might need an exclamation mark. But just for a normal statement like that, it's a nice day, I think it just needs a full stop. Let's look at the next one. I can't believe it. What do you think? I think you're going to say exclamation mark, and I would agree. Boink. There we go. Exclamation mark. I can't believe it. So if someone is surprised by something, if I told someone in the class that they had just won £1 million, do you think they'd say, I can't believe it? I don't think so. They'd say, I can't believe it. So it would need an exclamation mark. What about this one? Oh my goodness. Again, I think it needs another exclamation mark, doesn't it? It's showing someone's surprise. And again, their voice might get a bit louder when they say, oh my goodness, because they're so surprised. So we'll put an exclamation mark in. Boink. There we go. Next one. It's 1 o'clock. What do you think? I think just a full stop. Now, if it was 1 o'clock and you had just woken up and you were supposed to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, you may then say, it's 1 o'clock, I'm late. In that case, you might need an exclamation mark. But just for a simple statement like that, it's 1 o'clock, a full stop is fine. Here's your pencil. Again, what do you think? I think a full stop is fine for that one. Here's your pencil. That's amazing. Oh, I think we know that one, don't we? That's amazing. It's an exclamation mark, isn't it? Boink. And there we go. All right. Now, speaking of amazing, here's your amazing work for today. Now, you simply have to read through these sentences and decide whether they need an exclamation mark or a full stop. All right? So we've got number 1, Jane has lost her shoes. Number 2, stop it now. Number 3, Your work is amazing. Number 4, it is sunny outside. Number 5, don't be cheeky. And then down below it says now write your own sentence using an exclamation mark. So you get a chance to use your imagination. Think of a really interesting statement that would need an exclamation mark at the end. Okay, so either someone is really expressing strongly what they're saying, or maybe they're shouting. All right. Today in our numeracy and for this week, we are looking at data handling. So this is your page for Monday. You have a copy of it. I'm just working from the textbook here. So let's have a look. Now, and before we do, just a little word about data handling, because it's probably something that you've done before, but you didn't know what it was called. So when we do bar charts and tables and graphs and things like this, that's all ways of showing data, showing information about something. So for example, you could have a bar chart showing how many of the P4s thought football was their favourite sport, how many preferred tennis, how many preferred skipping, and you could use a bar graph to show those results. So when we are handling data, we are gathering information and showing it in different ways. And today the information is shown in a little table, which we'll look at shortly. So, Class 3 visited 4 parks, and you can see the parks here: Safari Park, the Water Park, the Marine Park, and the Theme Park. Now, which park would be your favourite to visit? I think I'd like to go to the water park maybe, if it was a good day. So let's look at question 1A. Question 1A asks you which park was most popular and which was least popular. So you're going to have to go over to this table and you'll see the names of the parks are down one side: Safari, Water, Theme and Marine. And each child has voted for which park was their favourite. Okay, so you can see they all have different amounts of votes. So you have to work out which one was most popular and write it down. And then below that, you have to write which one was least popular. Which one did people like the least? Question B then says, which parks had more than 7 votes and which parks had less than 7 votes? So you look again at your table and just look at the numbers to help you. Now, question 2 then asks you, find out which of the 4 parks children in your class would most like to visit. Well, we can't really do that at the minute, can we, because we're at home? However, I have an alternative for you. Because I went around school and I asked some of the teachers if they had a chance to visit one of these 4 parks, which one would they go to? So we're going to make a table of results based on what the teachers have said. So you need to pause your video and draw out a little table like this with park and votes and then the names of the parks: Safari, Water, Theme and Marine. And then you're going to listen to me tell you which park each teacher voted for and classroom assistant. Now, they weren't all in on Friday, but I asked quite a few of them, okay? So draw your table first and just leave the number part blank because you haven't heard the votes yet, okay? Okay, so I'm assuming now that you have your table ready. And what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to tell you what each teacher and classroom assistant voted for. And each time you hear a park mentioned, give it a little tick, okay? Like this. So if I said Mrs. Trainer liked the water park best, you would go to the water park section and give it a tick, all right? So listen carefully and tick each time you hear a park mentioned. Give a tick beside it in the vote section. It gets one more vote. So 1 tick means 1 vote. Okay. So Mrs. Jordan said she liked the water park best. So you give water park a tick. 1 vote for water park. Mrs. Coleman said she wanted to go to the marine park. The marine park. Mrs. McLaughlin wanted to go to the water park. Mrs. Brogan wanted to go to the safari park. Mrs. McFadden, that's me, wanted to go to the water park. Mrs. McNichol wanted to go to the theme park. Mr. McGuigan wanted to go to the theme park. Mr. Hughes wanted to go to the theme park. Miss Rafferty wanted to go to the theme park. Mr. Gilday wanted to go to all of the parks, but I told him that wasn't allowed and he had to choose, so he chose the safari park. Matthew, our chaplain, wanted to go to the water park. Kim wanted to go to the marine park. Miss O'Connor wanted to go to the theme park. And so did Mrs. Traynor. Miss Kennedy wanted to go to the safari park. Mrs. Heron wanted to go to the water park. And Mrs. Kelly wanted to go to the water park too. Mrs. Basketfield wanted to go to the theme park. Mrs. Callahan wanted to go to the theme park. Carmel in the canteen wanted to go to the theme park. So count up your votes once you've got all your ticks and write your numbers here beside it. And then we'll look at the questions. Which park is most popular? Which park is least popular? Now the last question says how many children, but we know what we mean, how many members of staff in school. So how many of the staff voted for either the water park or the theme park? So you would have to add those two up together, wouldn't you? Okay, have fun counting. So boys and girls, I apologise that the video is so long today, but sometimes that happens on a Monday. Continue on as well with your accelerated reading. You're doing really well at that. And also with your Sum Dog. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.